Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in pretty desperate here for a win as they've started the year 0-5.
And it seems way too early to start talking about hot seats. But guess what? When a team is 0-5, people start wondering about their jobs.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And they're going jet sweep. Here's Tate. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 15 carries, 71 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And he completes it to Hunt. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the 2nd straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
First down. Here's Cousins. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. They'll run. This is Hunt. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15.
I'm coming after you. He's crossing. He's checking crack.
16 yards, a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
For mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. There you see the starters defensively for Jacksonville. They were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Cousins. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 12-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll run him here with Hunt. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
He's not going to get me.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A 22-yard attempt.
And the kick by Butker is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
It's going to be a long day.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
And congratulations on their win last week, but they didn't get a whole lot of time to celebrate it on Sunday. They were right back to work on Monday, but you have to do things differently when you prepare for a Thursday night game. Because normally you'll take some time off. Here you get right back to work on the game plan mentally, and probably not put any pads on until you play again Thursday night.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, it's Hunt, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Strong left, strong left, strong left. 4 down.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
26. 55. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And he will be out of bounds on what will wind up being the final play of this. First quarter. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A toss play to Hunt. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Off the play fake, Cousins. Looking downfield for Jones. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Pulled in at the 24. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, 1st down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A 14-yard 1st down pickup for the Jaguars.
Watch it. Over.
Rodgers now on 1st down. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Rodgers now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. A first down carry for Henry. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On second down, here's Henry. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Derrick Henry. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On second down now. It's Hunt, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Ready? Switch.
Now it's Hunt. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 39, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. Ertz has it left side. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
When he was a little guy in the backyard just throwing it around probably with his dad, he thought about playing in the NFL. He dreamed of it. But to put up these kind of numbers while doing so, that's got to be kind of cool for him. He'll enjoy the heck out of thinking about that when this one is over.
So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They got the victory last week. That was against the Baltimore Ravens, and they have the lead here as well.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. Mike 55, Mike 55. Switch up, switch up. Flip it down.
Rodgers now on first down. Hunter Henry brings it in. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Here's Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Man, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Jerome Baker right there in coverage. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Pushing through tacklers at the 30. Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5. Yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Cousins now from the 50. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll run on 1st down. Hunt, and not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Come on, fellas.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. Cousins, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Back to you.
Cousins, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Julio Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he fires one, but incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Powers through. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Jerick McKinnon making his way back onto the field. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Caught by Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll throw again. Cousins. He completes it to Jones. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Cousins now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Cousins again. And he completes it to Hunt. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Cousins now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Plenty to look forward to in that early window, one being a noontime start up in Green Bay. A big one for the Packers, as they'll have to do battle with the Tennessee Titans. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well, one being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And one more to highlight, a good one on Sunday Night Football between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They've dropped 5 straight coming in, so right now cherishing this lead. And they've got the football as well, 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup. Up there, 8 yards on the first down completion. On 2nd down, it's Hunt, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down now, it's Hunt, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Cousins on 1st down. He's got his man. This is Tate. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. This is Hunt, and the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Well, that'll get him to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
55. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
On 1st down, Hunt. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll toss it to Hunt. Pushing through the contact. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. Now, remember, they had 2 last week in the win, obviously losing here.
Well, you talk about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had an opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Check 50. Check 55 to Mike. Rabbit. Mike 55. Mike 55.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And he fires one incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Everyone, 37-50. Hey, you block over here. Hey, Alpha. Man up, D. Everyone, 37's the Mike. Mike 37.
And the blitz does come. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
The dump-off gets him only 1, and now you're looking at a 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Throwing, Cousins. That one is caught by Hunt. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
That's it.
No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting... panic creep in and affect their play.
Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Hunt. They find some open field here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Golden Tate, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for...
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time it's a sack. Come on.
But they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none, because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
16 yards, a first down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get 1 more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He'll get this to Eckler. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means they have to run it.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Hayward in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Looking left side, and it's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 12 yards there and a first down. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Chris Conley, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, The quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They run with Hunt. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just... Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half, they give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back to throw. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people call it.
Complete to Kareem Hunt. He steps out of bounds.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, Nate. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So now... After the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Here's Cousins. And finding Keelan Cole. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. This is Hunt on the draw play. And he gets it down to the 32. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Still a few inches short of the first down as they come up now on 2nd down. He's back to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. Cousins. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming.
A 32-yard attempt.
And this one is right through. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out come the Jags. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, That gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Going on the ground with Eckler. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. To throw, it's Rodgers. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Rodgers, eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
And now out comes Minnesota. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
That part 1 is done, now part 2. That was a safety Taylor Rapp right there on the coverage. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And do you believe this? It's a safety, and the ball game is over. So the screen pass goes backwards. That play seemed to have a potential disaster written all over it from the start.
I mean, wasn't that a tough spot on the field to make that call? You're inviting defensive linemen and linebackers to get pressure. So if one of them sniffs this out, you're definitely in danger, and this time it cost them 2 points.
Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Jaguars, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.